What is the primary concern when securing a disabled vehicle to a tow truck? Ensuring the vehicle is securely fastened to prevent shifting or detachment during transport. A properly secured load keeps both vehicles stable and prevents accidents. Secure set, onward. Before towing, what is critical to verify about the disabled vehicle's wheels? That they are free to rotate or properly secured if they are not. Locked or dragging wheels can damage axles and cause loss of control. Wheels checked. Continue. When preparing to tow a vehicle with air brakes, what must you confirm about its air system? That the air lines are properly connected and the towed vehicle's brakes can be controlled, ensures both service and emergency brakes function correctly. Air lines set. Move on. What is the greatest danger when towing a vehicle that has a higher center of gravity than your tow truck? Increased risk of rollover, especially on turns or uneven surfaces. Watch speed and steering inputs to avoid tipping. Center balanced, forward. What is the purpose of safety chains when connecting a disabled vehicle to a tow truck? To provide a backup connection in case the primary hitch fails. Chains keep the towed vehicle attached if the hitch releases. Chains secure, proceed. When should you perform a detailed pre-trip inspection of the tow truck and the towed vehicle? Before starting any tow operation. Identifies mechanical issues or loose connections before moving. Inspection done. Let's roll. What is the importance of knowing the gross combination weight rating, GCWR, for your tow truck setup? To ensure you do not exceed legal weight limits for safe operation. Overweight combinations risk brake failure and instability. Weight checked. Go on. When backing a tow truck with a towed vehicle, what should your general approach be? Use mirrors, use a spotter, and back slowly and carefully. Spotter guidance prevents collisions and maintains alignment. Back clear. Continue. What is the danger of towing a vehicle with a flat tire without proper dollies or lifting? It can cause significant damage to the towed vehicle's axle, suspension, or tire. Proper support avoids dragging and component failure. Tire lifted, onward. What is the bridge formula used for in commercial vehicle operation? To determine the maximum legal weight that can be carried on a set of axles to prevent bridge damage, ensures weight distribution meets safety regulations. Bridge safe, move on. When approaching a scene with flashing emergency lights, what is the move over law in Florida? You must vacate the lane closest to the emergency vehicle or slow down significantly. Creates a buffer zone for responders and prevents secondary crashes. Lane moved, proceed. What should you do before attempting to lift a disabled vehicle with a wheel lift or under reach? Ensure the vehicle's transmission is in neutral and the parking brake is released, if applicable. Prevents drivetrain damage and allows wheels to turn freely. Prepped and neutral. Forward. Why is it important to ensure the towed vehicle's steering is secured straight ahead? To prevent erratic steering and potential jackknifing or loss of control. Locked straight wheels maintain stability during hauling. Steering locked. Next. What is the primary hazard of towing a vehicle on a steeply graded road? Increased stress on the tow truck's engine and brakes, requiring careful gear selection. Overheating brakes and engine strain risk losing control. Gear set. Descend safe. What is the purpose of load chains or straps when securing a vehicle to a flatbed tow truck? To securely hold the vehicle to the bed, preventing movement during transport. Proper tension keeps the vehicle immobile, even over bumps. Load strapped, continue. How can you check for air leaks in your combination vehicle's air brake system during a pre-trip inspection? Turn off the engine, release the parking brake, and listen for air leaks. A silent system confirms no leaks that could cause brake failure. Air sealed, move on. What is the proper use of warning lights, e.g. amber flashing lights on a tow truck, to alert other drivers of your presence and potential hazard, especially at a scene? Keeps responders safe and warns approaching traffic. Lights on. Stay visible. Why is it crucial to disconnect the drive shaft of a towed vehicle with an automatic transmission unless using dollies? To prevent severe damage to the transmission due to lack of lubrication. Disconnecting stops internal components from rotating dry. Drive shaft free. Continue. What is the danger of towing a vehicle that is significantly wider than your tow truck? It can create hazards for other road users and may require special permits or escorts. Oversized loads need extra clearance and planning. Width noted, move safe. What does GVWR stand for, and what is its significance for a tow truck? Gross vehicle weight rating, the maximum operating weight for the tow truck itself. Exceeding GVWR leads to brake and structural failure. GVWR respected, onward. What should you do if you notice excessive smoke coming from the brakes of the towed vehicle? Pull over safely, inspect the brakes for overheating, and take corrective action. Prevents fire risk and brake failure. Brakes cooled, continue. What is the safest way to approach a vehicle stalled on the shoulder of a busy highway? Approach slowly, activate warning lights, and maintain a safe distance from traffic. Warns oncoming drivers and protects personnel working roadside. Approach safe, onward. What is the danger of an improperly balanced load, e.g. towed vehicle too far back or forward? It can severely affect the tow truck's steering, braking, and stability. Proper balance avoids sway and loss of control. Load balanced, continue. What is the function of the trailer air supply control valve, red 8-sided knob, in a tractor-trailer air brake system? To supply air to the trailer's emergency air tank and control the trailer emergency brakes. Pushing in allows trailer brakes to release. Pulling out applies emergency brakes. Air supply tested, move on. When should you avoid using the disabled vehicle's wheels for steering input during a tow? If the vehicle's steering system is damaged or locked, forcing damaged steering risks further harm and a loss of control. Steering locked, onward. What is the primary purpose of proper training for tow truck operators? To ensure safe and efficient recovery and transport of vehicles, protecting lives and property. Trained operators reduce accidents and equipment damage. Training complete. Continue. Why must you ensure the kingpin is properly locked into the fifth wheel before towing a semi-trailer? To prevent the trailer from separating from the tractor during operation. A secure lock is critical for safe towing. Kingpin locked. Onward. What is the danger of operating a tow truck with improperly inflated tires? Reduced control, increased risk of blowouts and uneven wear. Proper tire pressure ensures stability and braking performance. Tires inflated, move on. What is the primary consideration when choosing a safe anchor point on a disabled vehicle for winching or towing? Selecting a strong structural component designed to withstand towing forces. Using non-structural parts can cause breakage and failure. Anchor solid, continue. When using a snatch block for recovery, what is a crucial safety precaution? Standing clear of the line and block and inspecting all rigging for damage. A snapped line or block can cause severe injury. Rigging safe, move on. What is the importance of understanding the towed vehicle's weight distribution when positioning it on a flatbed? To maintain the tow truck's stability and prevent overloading axles, even distribution avoids swaying and oversteer. Weight balanced, onward. What is the cutout pressure in an air brake system? The pressure at which the air compressor stops pumping air into the tanks, typically around 120.5 PS, prevents overpressurizing and damage. Cutout reached, continue. What should you do before disconnecting air lines from a towed trailer? Bleed the air from the trailer's air tanks. Prevents compressed air from escaping forcefully. Air bled, move on. When performing a light test on a towed vehicle, what are you checking? That all required lights, tail lights, brake lights, turn signals are working and visible. Proper lighting is crucial for night and adverse weather visibility. Lights verified, onward. What is the danger of leaving a towed vehicle's parking brake engaged during transport unless on dollies? It can cause severe damage to the towed vehicle's brakes or create a fire hazard. Brakes dragging over distance will overheat. Brake free, continue. Why is it important to ensure the towed vehicle's undercarriage does not drag when loading or transporting? It can cause significant damage to the vehicle and create sparks or hazards on the road. Scraping metal risks fires and part breakage. Undercarriage clear. Move on. What is the purpose of using wheel straps or chains over the tires when securing a vehicle? To firmly secure the wheels to the tow truck bed or cradle, preventing movement. Keeps the vehicle stable even over bumps. Wheels strapped, onward. What is the function of the parking brake control valve, yellow push-pull knob in a tractor-trailer air brake system? To apply or release the parking spring brakes of the tractor and trailer. Pulling out applies springs, pushing in releases them once pressure is available. Parking brake set, continue. What is the safest way to exit a tow operation after delivering a vehicle? Conduct a final walk-around inspection, ensure all equipment is stowed, and signal intent. Confirms nothing was left unsecured and alerts traffic you're moving. Clear check. Move off. When should you use amber warning lights on your tow truck? When stopped at a scene, loading, unloading, or during active recovery operations, warns traffic to slow down and give space. Amber flashing. Stay safe. What is the importance of understanding axle weight limits when towing? To avoid overloading axles on both the tow truck and the towed vehicle, preventing fines and safety issues. Exceeding limits risks tire blowouts and suspension failure. Axle same. Continue. What should you do if the brake fluid level in your tow truck is low? Add the correct type of brake fluid and check for leaks. Low fluid indicates a leak or worn components requiring repair. Brake fluid topped, move on. What is the proper method for checking the air pressure in your tow truck's air tanks during a pre-trip? Read the dashboard air pressure gauge while the engine is running and the compressor is building pressure. Ensures you have enough psi for safe braking. Pressure green, continue. What is the danger of using chains or straps that are not rated for the weight of the towed vehicle? They can snap, causing serious injury or property damage. Always use equipment rated above the load weight. Rated gear, move on. What is the cut-in pressure in an air brake system? The pressure at which the air compressor begins to pump air again, typically around 100 psi, ensures a minimum pressure for safe braking. Cut-in reached, continue. Why is it important to ensure the towed vehicle is properly positioned on the flatbed to avoid overhangs? To prevent the towed vehicle from hitting other objects or vehicles during turns or bumps. Overhangs risk collisions and legal violations. Position set, move on. What should you do if you encounter a hazardous material placard on a vehicle you are about to tow? Be aware of the risks, follow specific hazmat procedures, and notify emergency services if an incident occurs. Specialized handling and PPE may be required. Hazmat noted, stay safe. What is the primary role of a spotter during backing or recovery operations with a tow truck? To guide the driver safely, watching for obstacles, and providing clear signals. A spotter's directions prevent collisions in blind areas. Spotter clear. Continue. What is the danger of using a tow hook or chain on a suspension component not designed for towing? It can severely damage the suspension, chassis, or cause the vehicle to detach. Always use structural anchor points. Anchor proper. Move on. How should you secure the steering wheel of a vehicle being towed by a wheel lift or sling? With a steering wheel clamp or strap to prevent turning. Locked straight wheels avoid unpredictable movement. Steering locked. Continue. What is the purpose of the glad hands couplers on the air lines connecting a tractor and trailer? To ensure a secure, airtight connection for the air brake system. Proper coupling prevents air leaks and brake failure. Glad hands set. Onward. What is the danger of combining a tow truck with a towed unit that exceeds the tow truck's braking capacity? Significantly increased stopping distances and reduced ability to control the combination. Always match towing load to braking power. Brakes matched, continue. What is the importance of checking all lights and reflective devices on the towed vehicle? To ensure visibility to other drivers, especially at night or in low visibility conditions. Proper lighting prevents rear-end collisions. Lights verified, move on. When should you disconnect the electrical harness from the towed vehicle? After securing the vehicle and before starting the tow, unless specific lights are needed. Prevents wiring damage or shorts. Harness free, continue. What should you do if you discover your tow truck's air brakes are leaking excessively during a pre-trip? Do not operate the vehicle until the leak is repaired. Leaks reduce braking ability and risk sudden stops. Brakes fixed, safe to go.